happy hump day, each and every one of you. Today, we are talking about if and whether John Krasinski will ever go 100% or if he's just going to keep going halfway to geniusness. Don't go anywhere. You don't want to miss that. It's going to be a good one. Woo boy. See you in a minute.
Previously on the Nerdy Ronin Network.
Happy hump day. That's right. The work week is halfway done, or at least very close to it, and the weekend is that much closer. And we have a serious topic to talk about today. So, like and subscribe if you haven't already. I appreciate that. Old subscribers, new subscribers, thank you, each and every one of you. Excuse me. That frog in my throat, it just lives rent-free. All right, in the description down below are links to all the things we use, our website, our merch page, everything. You can find it right down there. Promo codes to save you some hard-earned money so you can try the things we love. How about that? Is that fair? All right. How many of you, raise your hand, all right? How many of you have watched The Office? Now, see, that's a lot of hands. And so I'm assuming you know who Jim is on The Office. John Krasinski. All right. Like him or hate him on The Office, he has moved on to be quite the prolific actor and writer and director of movies. You may not have known that. But, and yes, I know I don't talk very much about new movies. I just don't. I like classics. But I need to talk about this. I literally watched this movie twice in a row. And I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Help me out here. Ladies and gentlemen, let's take a look here at If. If 2024 PG hour and 44 minutes. A young girl who goes through a difficult experience begins to see everyone's imaginary friends who have been left behind as their real life friends have grown up. If you have an imaginary friend and you grow up, what happens to them? Do they just disappear when you forget them? That's what this movie deals with. Directed by John Krasinski. Written by John Krasinski. He's in the movie. Neither here nor there. Starring Kaylee Fleming, Ryan Reynolds, John Krasinski, etc. Okay. Let's start out with some hard truths here, okay? The trailer of this movie makes it look like a Ryan Reynolds comedy. You with me? Like nothing but fun for all ages. Big, fluffy, purple imaginary friend, bunch of other ones. Like it plays, the trailer plays like it's a straight comedy. Right? You've seen the trailer. It's not. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but I just need to get that out there. If you're looking at this trailer thinking, hey, on Family Movie Night, we're going to watch this movie about a little girl whose mother has died and now her father's in the hospital. Oh, yeah. And there's some really funny imaginary friends as well. And of course, Ryan Reynolds, who's really funny. You see what I'm saying? Because that's the actual description of the movie. This is a movie that deals with adult themes. Excuse me. The imaginary friends are a side note to this little girl who is struggling. And yes, there's some really funny bits in it. And Ryan Reynolds, he's brilliant as himself. He plays himself in this and he does a great job. I mean, honestly, the chemistry between the little girl and Ryan Reynolds, it just plays really well. The chemistry between the little girl and everybody else, the grown-ups in this movie, I'm not so sure. If this was a movie about Ryan Reynolds, who was her father, and her, that might have been a better movie. And I'm saying that as someone who really liked this movie. Like, I want to buy a physical media copy of it because I'm interested to hear more about this, how this story evolved. And I believe the premise is wonderful. And there is some cinematography, there's some camera work by Krasinski that's just brilliant throughout this movie. But then the other half of the movie is just meh when you're talking about how it's shot, how it's filmed, the scenes, cinematography. So I truly mean this as an honest question. Is there ever going to be a time that Krasinski goes full tilt with his genius behind the camera and does the entire movie in that glimmer of brilliance that you see dotted throughout his movies? I'm not sure if he can. So I don't know if that's a failure for him or not. This movie's brilliant. The story is brilliant. But there are things that have been left out of the story for whatever reason to make the story more understandable. Like there's a surprise ending, if you will, that if you're watching the movie at all, like paying attention, halfway through, you're pretty certain you know that already. So there's things they've done throughout the movie, like they're trying to get you at the end. So certain things don't make sense, or it's left out of the story as you're watching it. Like there's going to be questions, which is why I watched it twice. I wanted to make sure I wasn't missing something. Nope, it's just not there. Now, it may sound like I'm complaining. I'm not. I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. It's rare that I will sit down and watch a movie twice in a row. But this movie, I can see this really reaching people, but this is not going to be a good movie for little children. They're not going to be able to stay with their attention span on it because the first half of this movie is slow. Now, when you get to all the imaginary friends and all that build up and all that comes together on the screen, yes, they're going to be right there on it, but they're going to have no idea what's really going on. There's some bad language in it, not a whole lot, but some, it was enough that it was noticeable for me. Like I was like, I thought this was a kids movie. It's not a kids movie per se. I would say this is a whimsical teenage movie, like tween, not teen, but 8 to 15 to 14, something. And the adults will be able to watch it, and the comedy will make it relatable to the adults. So, yes, for some people, it's a family movie, but it's just something about it bothered me. And I think that's the fault of the director. I do not think he should have been in the movie at all. I mean, it's fine. It's his choice. But make a decision. Are you the director and the writer? Or the actor, director, and the writer? And a lot of the voice cast choices made for this are buddies with Krasinski. And some of them are really sucky people. And they were used as advertisements of, look who's in this. Like Phoebe Waller-Cates, who destroyed Indiana Jones, whatnot. So, unimpressed with that. Amy Schumer, who cares? Who's that again? So, And I don't know how the special features will be arranged on a physical media copy of this, but on Paramount Plus, which is where I watched it because it's streaming there, there's one special feature. It's 10 minutes long, and it's a girl or a woman, whatever, uh, trying to play on the imaginary friends ideal, but all she's really doing is being silly and talking to the voice cast. It just, if that's what's on the physical media copy, I won't be buying it. I would like to see some actual special features. I want to know more about where he came up with this idea, what really evolved this story. I think John Krasinski is a brilliant director when he wants to be. I don't see why he has to be in all of his movies. Hire actors, hire good actors, tell them what you want, be the director. You wrote it, you directed it, you don't need another thing beside your name. We get it. You can act. Fair? All right. The little girl in this does a great job. I don't know how old she is in real life. In the movie, she's 12, but she played it brilliantly. Usually, kids are annoying in movies sometimes. Not at all in this. She played the character well, so great job for her. And Ryan Reynolds really did pull off this character perfectly well. I'm going to give this a plus. I just would like to see John Krasinski give 100% to being the director and less about, look at me, I'm in the movie. Go all in, John. Go all in. All right. I'm going to get out of here. Got stuff to do. So, for Michael, the microphone, Bob, squeaky chair in the back, and this big fat nerd, we will see you on Kung Fu Friday.